Welcome back to the channel. Grab your tea, get comfy, because this one might just save your heart. It's midnight, and the clock is ticking at 2:17 a.m. You're sitting in your car outside his apartment, mascara running, phone in your hand with 0 new messages. Again, 3 hours ago, he was calling you baby, saying he couldn't wait to see you, kissing you like the world was ending. And now, nothing. You keep rereading the last sweet text, trying to convince yourself it meant something real. But deep down, you already know. You've been here before. That sinking feeling in your stomach. It's not paranoia. It's your intuition screaming. What he's giving you isn't love. It's lust dressed up so well, it fooled even you today. I'm showing you the 5 undeniable red flags that what he feels is pure lust, masquerading as love. So you never waste another tear on the wrong man. Let's begin. Here we go. The very first red flag that exposes lust, pretending to be love. He's obsessed with the chase, but vanishes the moment you finally open up. Those first weeks felt like a movie. He was planning dates 2 weeks in advance, sending paragraphs about how you're different, showing up with flowers just because it was Tuesday. You thought, finally, someone who gets me. Then you let the mask slip. You told him about your anxiety, your messy family, the fact you sometimes cry at dog food commercials. Real stuff. Suddenly, the energy changed overnight. The man who used to reply in 2 minutes now takes 2 days. He's swamped at work. The same guy who once said, "I want to know everything about you," now answers your vulnerable voice note with a single thumbs up emoji. Why does this happen? Because the chase triggers a massive dopamine surge biologically identical to cocaine. The uncertainty of "will she like me?" lights up the reward centers like fireworks. Once the conquest is complete and real emotional work shows up, the drug wears off. Men who are actually falling in love lean in harder when you reveal the unpolished parts. They ask follow-up questions. They remember the name of the friend who hurt you in 8th grade. Lust-driven men treat emotional intimacy like kryptonite because it threatens the fantasy they were high on. I had a client, Sarah, who dated a guy for 4 months. The second she told him she sometimes needs reassurance because of past cheating, he ghosted for 9 days. Came back with "sorry babe, new project." That wasn't a project. There was emotional avoidance in a suit. If opening up makes him pull away, he was never chasing you. He was chasing the high of chasing you. That's not love. That's lust wearing love's mask. If that one already stung, buckle up. Red flag number 2 is even more common. Physical intimacy skyrockets. Emotional intimacy stays at absolute 0. He knows exactly how to touch you, how long to kiss your neck, what makes you melt. The chemistry is actually insane. But try talking about feelings afterward. And it's like talking to a brick wall wearing cologne. He'll roll over, check his phone, start talking about the gym, anything. But how are you really? One woman told me her boyfriend of 6 months could make her finish in under 5 minutes, but didn't know she was on anxiety medication. That's not a relationship. That's a very talented booty call. Psychologically, this is usually an anxious avoidant attachment pattern. Physical closeness feels safe because it's time-limited and doesn't require vulnerability. Emotional closeness threatens engulfment, so they sabotage it. Real love wants to live in both worlds, bodies and souls. Lust is happy to rent the body and never sign the lease on the soul. Ask yourself, when was the last time he asked about your dreams and actually listened? Without turning it sexual or making it about him. If you can't remember, that silence is speaking volumes. That's not love. That's lust wearing love's mask. Here comes the one that keeps women hooked for years. Red flag number 3. His effort is hot and cold intense, bursts followed by radio. Silence that leaves you spinning. One weekend, he's planning a surprise picnic, calling you his future wife, posting you on his story. 48 hours later, he's MIA. And you're triple texting like a crazy person, which you're not. This is intermittent reinforcement, the exact schedule used in gambling addiction. Unpredictable rewards are the most powerful dopamine triggers known to science. Every time he disappears and then suddenly floods you with affection, your brain gets a hit stronger than cocaine. You become addicted to the cycle, not to the human being. I once coached a woman whose boyfriend would vanish every time Mercury was in retrograde. His excuse, not mine. She spent 3 years thinking if she could just be more chill, he'd stay consistent. Spoiler, he never did, because the inconsistency was the drug. Healthy, secure. Love doesn't play hide and seek with your nervous system. It shows up, rains or shine. That's not love, that's lust, wearing love's mask. This next one is sneaky, because it feels so romantic at first. Red flag number 4. He loves the idea of you, not the reality of you. Classic future faking and love bombing. Week 2. I can already picture our kids. They'll have your eyes. Month 4. You mention meeting his mom, and he says, "Whoa, slow down. Let's not put labels on things." He sold you the Disney ending before he even knew your coffee order, because he was high on the feeling you gave him. The fantasy version of you is perfectible as sexy, never needy, never has a bad day. Real you gets periods, has insecurities, sometimes wants to talk about feelings. At 11 p.m., fantasy you does not. So, when real you shows up, he withdraws. Future faking is emotional fraud. It's writing checks with affection. His actions will never cash. A man in love builds the future, brick by brick, day by day. A man in lust paints it in the sky and gets mad when it rains. That's not love. That's lust wearing love's mask. We've reached the final one. And honestly, it's the most painful, because it attacks your sanity. Red flag number 5. Your gut keeps screaming something is off, but he gaslights you into thinking you're overthinking, crazy, or too much. You feel the disconnect and bravely bring it up. "Hey, I feel like we're not on the same page." His response, "You're being dramatic. Why do you always have to ruin the vibe?" "I'm just not a big texter. Stop over and allow." That beautiful is gaslighting 101. He flips the script so your valid intuition becomes the problem, instead of his inconsistent behavior. Your body is literally picking up micro-signals, mismatched words and actions that your conscious mind hasn't caught up to yet. That anxiety in your chest is data, not drama. A man who loves you wants to calm your storms. A man who's using you wants to silence your storms, so he can keep using you in peace. If you constantly have to convince yourself you're overreacting to keep the relationship alive, you're not in a relationship, you're in a court of law, defending your sanity. That's not love. That's lust wearing love's mask. You now have all 5 red flags. If 2 or more just lit up like fireworks in your head, I need you to hear this next part with your whole heart. Real love doesn't make you question your worth. At 2 a.m., real love doesn't require you to shrink, chase, or audition. Real love is steady hands, open ears, and someone who chooses you even on the days you're a mess. It's deep peace, with fireworks still possible, not fireworks followed by weeks of drought. Lust disguised as love is addictive because it gives you just enough crumbs to keep you starving, while never feeding you the full meal you deserve. You are not too much. You are not asking for too much. Wanting consistency, respect, and emotional safety is the bare minimum. If this video just saved you one more month or year of confusion, type "I deserve real love" in the comments right now. Like, subscribe the channel. You are worthy of the real thing, and it's coming the second you stop settling. I believe in you. See you next time.